All right, let's test out ScreenFlow. Working on the latest macOS developer beta. As a test, I'm going to show off Bright and what I worked up last night with my personal site, tbaceta.com. So Bright is a CMS, a headless CMS for technical content. Really nice little flashy page here, but there's a Kanban style publishing flow you can set up. So you've got items in draft state or review state or published, an icebox, however you want to use it. It's pretty freeform, but the nice part is the editor. So I'll jump to my dashboard. I've got an existing article, and in fact it's already published. So we'll drag it back to drafts so that I'm able to edit it here. The published state, it's not editable, which is pretty wise. So I've just copy and pasted some markdown from an existing begin.com blog post I wrote recently. I've got a full width splash header image, description, my author entry, a published date, and one thing that's nice is there's a canonical link here. So I've embedded an image. There's a really nice code editor right in line. This is similar to the Notion syntax. You can type a leading slash and pull up different blocks, or you can just write markdown. I did recently put in a request for the table element. You'll notice here my markdown table didn't quite translate to this editor, but the maintainer got back to me, and it's something they're considering and working on. They really want the UI to be good. So anyway, this is my full article. So we'll jump back to the dashboard and put it in the published lane. Now what's happened on the back end is this actually sent a webhook. So I have 3 webhooks. Whenever something was added to published, it's going to post a webhook to my endpoint. It's not going to send the content to that post, so I've got some code sitting there in a Lambda ready to receive that webhook and then look up the content of that post, which comes back in a nice JSON format. Actually, I can show you because it's in my database here. So I'm writing it with a key, write content with the ID of that key. Opening it up, I've basically expanded the JSON response from Bright's API into Dynamo, and you'll notice this big key, or rather the key with content with a ton of entries, one for each basically element in my post, in my document. So the first one will be a paragraph, and this is my introductory statement. So all this is stored there in Dynamo as a sort of cache for my site. So at tbaceta.com, articles is my normal where I would post blog posts if I did blogging, but I'm so far behind. But in the meantime, I've added an additional route path called write, and it takes an ID. In this case, it's the ID of the content piece. What I'd like to do is use the slug that I set in that content piece in the write editor. And what I'm rendering here currently is just the main cover image, the title, and the description. So I haven't written any sort of transformer for all of that content tree. But luckily there are transformers built by Bright that I can leverage to change that JSON into HTML in real time, which is pretty cool. So for now, I've just actually linked the title to the canonical link, and this is what it looks like on begin.com's blog. But yeah, that's sort of a quick demo of Bright and how I've hooked it up with my enhanced site with an inbound webhook, and then using DynamoDB as a quick way to cache that data.